Speaker.
Dennis O'Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. New Zealand First supports the criminal procedure legislation bill, and I'd like to begin by congratulating the Minister on a good piece of legislation. I'd like to congratulate the committee for its work, which it carried out in a constructive and non-political way. I'd particularly like to congratulate and thank the Law Society for the quality of its contribution. It's fair to say that this piece of legislation would not be what it is without their input. Mr. Speaker, the nature of the amendments this bill makes to various acts are largely technical, as others have said, arising from the passing of the Criminal Procedure Act 2011. Although technical only in nature, they are still important and necessary amendments to keep the criminal law and procedure up to date. Failure to do so, of course, may result in some very unfortunate results. The amendments fall into four categories. The first are a number of cross-referencing and other minor technical fixes which form the bulk of the bill and are pretty straightforward in nature, requiring no debate here. And secondly, there are amendments to ensure that the procedures and processes under the Criminal Procedure Act 2011 can be fully implemented to operate as intended, and these are also straightforward. The most important amendments are those to references to crime in several statutes due to repeal of the definition of crime in the Crimes Act 1961. A few examples of those are Clause 4, which amends Section 5 of the Criminal Procedure Act 2011, which concerns interpretation. The amendment adds a definition of imprisonable offence, and Clause 32 amends Section 11 of the Misuse of Drugs Act 1975, which concerns the theft of controlled drugs. The amendments replace crime with offence. Clause 34 amends Section 28 of the Summary Offences Act 1981, which concerns being found in a public place preparing to commit a crime. The amendments replace crime with imprisonable offence. And those are some examples of many amendments of that kind. Simple in nature, but very necessary and very important. So those are all measures which we can all easily support. They are good housekeeping amendments. Definitions in criminal legislation are, of course, of very high importance. But another amendment gives community magistrates jurisdiction to receive guilty pleas for certain Category 2 offences, being offences in respect of which community magistrates have sentencing jurisdiction. And the opportunity is also taken to clarify with greater specificity other aspects of community magistrates' jurisdiction. These also are sensible and necessary amendments which will improve aspects of criminal procedure. The Justice and Electoral Committee, mainly as a result of the input of the Law Society, recommended the deletion of Section 15(3)(h), which contained a Henry VIII clause, under which there would have been a regulatory power for the Minister to change the definition of crime, effectively amending legislation. Indeed, Henry VIII would have been proud of such a power and no doubt would have used it to the hilt. New Zealand supports, of course, the deletion of this, which was unnecessary and improper. Mr. Speaker, the bill makes many such sensible amendments, all of which are really just good housekeeping. And New Zealand First will therefore vote for the bill, which, as I have already noted, is largely technical in nature and makes some simple and technical changes in relation to the good operation of the Criminal Procedure Act 2011.
Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise a very short call